Hey, good afternoon, friends. Today is Thursday, October the 17th, 2024, and the time now is 2:05 p.m. So, I want to talk briefly or provide a brief comment or statement about the current or let's say the recent spat between the French President Emmanuel Macron and the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, or the spat between France and Israel. Now, there has been a whole lot of things going on between both countries and between both Emmanuel Macron and Benjamin Netanyahu. But much recently, news came out that France is basically banning or not allowing Israeli firms to have stands to be represented at the Euronaval event, the show event. And Israel has been blasting Macron in France. So Emmanuel Macron has also blasted at Israel. And the reason for this is the attacks on United Nations personnel or troops, to the point where just recently Macron stated that Israel should remember that its existence was a result of the United Nations decisions in 1947, 48 or so. Now, in addition to that, Macron has also hinted or talked about banning weapon sales or weapon exports to Israel. And the Israelis are furious. So recently, just last week, there was a speech that Benjamin Netanyahu gave in which he condemned European leaders and Macron, some European leaders and Emmanuel Macron, basically saying shame on them and stating that Israel is going to win without them and that the shame is going to stain them for a long time. Now, my friends, you are watching the trends and headlines in geopolitics, and this is episode 14. Once again, you are watching the playlist series, The Trends and Headlines in Geopolitics, and this is episode 14. Now, my take in this is that Israel should not be engaging in spat with European countries or with the United States, the same powerful countries that are in Israel's backing. I think there should be a diplomatic way in which Israel should be responding to the United States, France, Britain, or UK, or the Western allies. Because the truth is that no matter what Israel does, they are in Israel's backing. But by condemning and shaming them and engaging in spat, in war of words with European nations, the powerful countries, Israel puts itself in a negative, terrible situation. Now, whether Israel is right or wrong, whether Israel is defending itself or not, I do believe that the Israeli Prime Minister and the Israeli government must come to the realization that the situation that is going on in the Middle East, whether we are talking about in Gaza, in the West Bank, and now in southern Lebanon, is putting Western countries, Israel's backers, in very terrible situations, domestically and internationally. Domestically, the images and the potentials of these leaders and governments to win their next elections are becoming very difficult. And we are seeing that in the United States, where it is very difficult for Kamala Harris. It is going to be difficult for her to win the election. And Donald Trump, I do believe, could win this election. Yes, I also believe that he is going to go all out. He is going to back Israel all the way. But for other countries such as France and the UK or whatsoever, these leaders and countries are in terrible situation. Now, in terms of their international reputation, these countries are being looked at internationally as nothing but hypocritical institutions, as hypocrites. And I'm talking about the countries and their leaders. So these countries find themselves in terrible situations. We have economic situation going on, social situations, and then the international situation in which Israel finds itself, and they have to defend Israel. Now, in the United States, just recently we have, and currently we do have the hurricane season going on. And just recently we saw what's happening in Florida with the hurricane basically destroying things, destroying people's lives. Even with that, you have situations where the United States is giving aid to Israel and to Ukraine, as people now are calling, say, what about us? So these governments and countries are in terrible situation. I think the Israeli leadership must come to consider what these governments and countries are in currently. Now, of course, Israel is playing a very interesting politics and it is prioritizing its options. This is the fact that Israel seems to show more regard, okay, or give more respect to the United States, the United Kingdom, or let's say the Anglosphere. The Anglosphere is now the dominant sect of whiteness, of Europeanism. However, I do believe that Israel has to be very careful because what Israel and Netanyahu doing, the manner in which they are playing their politics, I do believe there is a tendency that their activities will generate stereotype and also conspiracy. Because at the time when these countries are experiencing economic situations of their own, while at the same time funding Israel, supporting Israel against all odds, it basically brings to question the influence of Israel or Netanyahu on Western government. In this case, we are talking about the United States, the United Kingdom, France, and so on. Now, one thing that the Macron government has been stressing is the killing of Hezbollah's leader, which they basically see as a betrayal by Israel. But it is very interesting because from the informations that are coming out and from what Macron and the French government is saying, it doesn't seem as if France, the United States, the United Kingdom, and other Western allies were in on the decision to assassinate Hezbollah's Secretary General, Hassan Nasrallah. Perhaps this is just a war of words and also spilling out rhetoric. However, I do believe the manner in which Israel is conducting international politics and how it is going against or going at Macron and other Western government, I think it puts them in a situation where others around the world are taking notice. Because honestly, countries such as France, it's a country that has lost tremendously its international appeal, okay, its international influence. These countries are powerful countries or world power that are not powerful. Everyone in international relations are taking notice. Therefore, Israel's pact with them could force the most radical elements of these countries as a means to try to protect whatever reputation they have as powerful countries and influential countries to basically turn at Israel or against Israel. I don't know how that is going to turn. However, I do feel as if Israel must be balanced in how it's engaged with these countries. Because no matter what, these countries are going to be in Israel's backing anyway. So Israel has to at least relax in its engagement with these countries. Now, friends, I am going to end here. Please tell me what you think, and I want to hear what you think. I want to thank you for being a member of the Echoing Voice community, but most especially, friends, I want to thank you a lot for watching the Echoing Voice. Peace.